The fundamental freedom of Americans to make decisions about their own bodies and not have their government tell them what to do.
Will abortion swing the first post-Roe presidential election? Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris is betting on it, as she has based much of her campaign on the issue. Harris confirmed to NBC News' Hallie Jackson that she would oppose religious exemptions in abortion laws. In the meantime, former President Trump has left his once strong pro-life stance in favor of looking more moderate on life issues. We are days away from the 2024 presidential election, and the race is neck and neck. While the presidential candidates embark on last-minute campaign tours in hopes of influencing Americans to vote for them, voters in 10 states across the country will also be asked to vote for or against life. Take a look. Several states already have extremely liberal laws where abortion is legal in all 9 months of pregnancy, like Maryland and Colorado. Yet they are seeking to enshrine abortion in their state's constitution. In New York, it is legal until 24 weeks, but there are exceptions, including the mental health of a mother, which would allow abortion up to the moment of birth.
We have concerns that that could lead to courts basically interpreting the rights of minors to be, on equal footing with adults, thereby stripping away parents' rights.
New York goes a step further in its Prop 1 ballot, known as the Equal Rights Amendment, to include gender identity protections, which can override parental consent for children seeking life-altering gender reassignment. 2 very pro-life states will unfortunately have abortion ballot measures. Missouri, where abortion is illegal with limited exceptions, could see it expand to allow abortion until viability. South Dakota, where babies are protected during all 9 months of pregnancy, has an initiative to constitutionalize abortion and prevent the state from regulating it in the first trimester, but allow for some regulations in the second trimester. Florida, where a 6-week abortion limit just took effect in May of this year, could be obliterated with Amendment 4, which would expand abortion until viability or beyond if a woman gets approval from a healthcare provider.
It would wipe out all the pro-life laws in Florida, very likely. It would eliminate the parental involvement law. There's a very good chance it would require taxpayer funding of abortion through Florida's Medicaid program. And it would also essentially legalize abortion throughout all 9 months of pregnancy.
Parental consent for minors seeking an abortion could also be removed. In Florida, the measure needs 60% of voters to approve it in order for it to pass. Montana voters will decide on keeping the current viability abortion law, which is around 24 weeks. And 2 competing abortion measures will be on the ballot in Nebraska. One measure, Initiative 434, would keep the current 12-week limit for exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother. Initiative 439 would enshrine abortion up until viability, about 24 weeks.
It's very clear Catholics in Nebraska should be voting against Initiative 439. It is an unsafe, unregulated, un-Nebraskan abortion proposal.
Catholic leaders are asking voters to choose the lesser of 2 evils there. The 2 swing states with abortion measures, Nevada and Arizona. Arizona allows abortion up until the 15th week of pregnancy when some doctors say the baby is capable of feeling pain. Voters there could extend the window of abortion up until viability. In Nevada, voters will decide on whether or not to enshrine the current abortion law of 24 weeks into the state constitution. Exceptions for the physical or mental health of the mother has the Nevada right to life concerned.
In our law, viability is defined as 6 months, 24 weeks. That's going to go away, and it will be replaced with a viability standard that's left up to the abortionist. Health is a big it's a big loophole. Health is considered emotional health, financial health. It can be any number of things, any kinds of transitory conditions that could be just, today I'm not feeling good and I don't feel like I can do this.
Nevada has 2 election cycles, so the measure needs to pass this year and then again in 2026. So we won't have results for another 2 years. Hans Plate, president of Vinea Research, has over 25 years of experience providing professional market research to industry-leading companies. He's also worked with major pro-life organizations like Students for Life. He joins us now to provide insight on what could be hurting the pro-life messaging. Hans, thank you so much for joining us today. So, state abortion ballot initiatives have not lost once in the wake of the overturning of Roe. How much of this would you attribute to the pro-abortion side's messaging?
A good amount. I really think there are two things that are going on. While overturning of Roe was obviously a very good thing, I think it happened without having sufficiently changed the hearts and minds of people on abortion, which is why we're seeing what we're seeing at the state level. And so more work needs to be done there, specifically as you say, on messaging and the delivery of that message. Unfortunately, the other side has come to own compassion. But really, we're the ones that should own compassion. We have the truly compassionate position. But the other side has cornered us with good narratives, right? We force women to carry the child, according to them, right? We force women and babies into poverty. And so we need to work stronger around coming up with better messaging to overcome that.
You're exactly right. So I know you've mentioned that research plays a large role in developing winning language. If I may say, what research opportunities do you see that could help the pro-life movement have more wins at the state level?
Yeah, so I don't know exactly what is happening in the pro-life movement for all of the different messages and the strategies or research and strategy that they do. But I would think of research as something that isn't a particular study, but it's a program, right? You need to do research to understand who are we trying to convince, what are their current beliefs. Then you use that to develop a variety of different messaging options that you then test in research, refine through research, and then you measure the impact of change. And I don't know that all of that has been done. I think the second thing around this is that we have to recognize that we're really not targeting a certain population or a single population, but rather a variety of different demographics or different segments, as we call them, right? So you've got women, you've got men, you've got different age groups, religious beliefs, et cetera. And so what I think is needed is targeted segment-based messaging and the research to support how to optimize messaging to the different audiences that we're trying to convince of the position that we have in the pro-life movement.
That makes sense. Pro-abortionists using the viability language seems to be helping them get these amendments on the ballot. How do we combat their narrative?
Well, so we have to start now, right? And so I've gotten a couple of requests for different messaging studies within a year of when an initiative was going to come to light. And really, it needs to start, like I said, now for Nevada and maybe even for Florida. So right now, things look positive for Florida only because they have that 60% threshold limit. But I think if we win, we'll barely win. And I think it will embolden the other side to try again, either in 26 or 28. And this is a program that needs to start, pretty soon, because you need to identify the optimal message to the audience, and they need to hear it repeatedly before they will actually adopt it and have it change their hearts and minds, which is obviously what we're trying to do here.
Yeah. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
I think I would say, hope is something that I've always felt is needed in this area, and really just to think about how best to use research to help along the way. I think it's utilized, but probably being underutilized.
Thank you so much, Hans. Don't forget to check out the Catholic News Agency's interactive map on state abortion ballots. Head over to catholicnewsagency.com and scroll to the bottom.